What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building, and I'll be doing your UFC 274 card predictions. The card is taking a lot of hits, not the best card in the world, but you have two great title fights. Moreno versus Figueiredo 3 and Francis versus Ciryl Gane, and that fight is just going to be phenomenal. Interesting card. We actually got some fights that basically got recycled to this card, and we're going to be talking about it in the curtain jerker. Vanessa's Demopoulos versus Silvana Gomez Juárez. I said it before, I just think Vanessa's just a better fighter. Gomez, soccer mom, doesn't look like she wants to be in there. I'm sorry. I think Vanessa's going to sub her in the second round. Gomez she's a decent fighter, don't get it twisted. Actually, she's not a decent fighter. She's a good person. I can't really say decent fighter. MMA, y'all already know what it is. They're still at this stage, I guess, in their fighting time. You could say that they have these kind of matchups, but she's 37 years old, man. I can't take Gomez seriously. I'm sorry, y'all. I might be wrong, but I'm sorry. Next fight, man, Michel Pereira versus Andre Fialho. Some of y'all might remember Andre Fialho from the James Vick card. I think at is it XMMA? I remember watching that card, and man, Fialho took James Vick's career damn near. He retired the man. That's just a fact. I know some people might be like, "Oh, you're hating." I'm just saying facts. I'm just saying facts. But what's it called? Vick. Fialho did his thing, but Vick was just, completely past any point of, I guess, prime, man. I don't know if Vick ever had a real prime, but he was on a decent win streak at one point in the UFC. I really don't put a lot of stock in what Fialho did to Vick. It is a former UFC guy. He was ranked in the lightweight division. You can't take that away from him, but just at the same time, it's just Michel Pereira should win this. Just with all due respect, Fialho's a really good fighter from Stanford MMA. I shouldn't say really good fighter. He's a very tough fighter from Stanford MMA. He goes forward. He throws decent combinations. He has that Dutch kickboxing style that Henry Hoof teaches over there. But I think Michel Pereira should use his jab. Should be able to use the distance and kind of counterpunch Fialho to a decision. I think Fialho can make it to a decision with Pereira. Pereira could finish him here, but Pereira was supposed to fight Muslim Salikov, Mr. Fake Kung Fu dude. You already know how I feel about that clown, but it's somewhat of a downgrade. But if Michel Pereira doesn't doubt this guy and doesn't underestimate him, I think he should beat him. So I gotta take Michel Pereira by decision. Next fight, Raoni Barcelos versus Victor Henry. We're supposed to get this, I think, on the Derek Lewis card versus Chris Daukaus. Really, really good fight right here. Victor Henry's a good fighter, man. Decent grappler. Tough dude. He's not a bad fighter. I think he could actually beat some dudes in the UFC. But I think Raoni Barcelos is just another level, man. That Timur Valiev fight was super, super close, and I didn't have a problem. At first I kind of felt like Ronnie won, but when I really think about it, I'm like, man, he did outpoint him for the second and the third round. So I understand the decision, but Ronnie had his moments, and it wasn't as if Ronnie was levels below Timur. It was a very, very close fight. So I think Raoni Barcelos should win this by decision. I think Ronnie doesn't even use his best skill set, and that's his wrestling, man. A lot of people don't even know that Ronnie was a big part of Jose Aldo's championship camps. He helped him a lot for the Frankie Edgars and I think Chad Mendes camps. And they would say he would actually have his way with Jose Aldo in the wrestling, and Jose Aldo is some of the best takedown defense ever in the featherweight division, man. Literally, like, some of the best wrestlers in the world could never take him down, like Chad Mendes, Frankie. At the time, those guys were the best, MMA wrestlers in their division. They just couldn't mess with his takedown defense, and I guess he got it from Raoni Barcelos. I think Raoni Barcelos is former, Olympic level wrestler from Brazil. The guy has elite level wrestling, and he's something to really look forward to. So and he has great striking too. He's really good hands and counter punching ability. So this is a good fight. Jasmine Jasudavicius, I think that's how you say her last name, versus Kay Hansen. Jasmine's a tough girl. She goes forward. Very gritty. 6-1 versus 7-4. She's 32 years old. Kay Hansen's 22. So obviously Kay has more fights than her, but I would say Jasmine's she's tougher. She's grittier, and she wants to win more. I would say the way she fights, Kay Hansen fights more of a smart fight. I would say she's more technically sound. But I mean, I think this might actually be a decent fight for home MMA, man. I'm not even gonna lie, man. I was watching some tape on Jasmine, and this girl actually, comes forward and brings it. I was surprised. I was really surprised. I thought she was gonna be another grappler or just another boring fighter. But she hits decent high kick. The girl attacks the body really well. She's just a little sloppy, I feel like, in certain areas of her striking. And I think Kay is going to be more slicker, is going to have slicker combinations. I think Kay has better striking, and I think Kay also has better grappling. So I'm going to take Kay Hansen by decision. We all know home MMA most likely will always go to decision. It's just a fact of life. But yeah, it is what it is. Tony Gravely versus Simone Oliveira. Really, really good fight. I mean, Oliveira, 18-3, man. Dude has a lot of fights, man. A lot of fights. He had a split decision victory over Jose Aldi on the Contender Series 4 months ago. But, you know how I feel about a lot of these Brazilian guys. I forgot the guy that fought Jeff Molina. But, a lot of them, they look good on the regular circuit, or their Brazilian circuit. And, and I'm not saying they get fed cans, but it's just very, very suspect records, and just not. His most legit fight was the Contender Series fight. And really, you also got, in my humble opinion, I'm not dissing any Contender Series guys, but there's a lot on this card, actually. But a lot of these guys, they look really good, or they have a decent decision victory, and they get a UFC kind of pass, basically. They get into the UFC, right? And I don't think they look as good as they should. I feel like the old model of the Contender Series, where they were very strict on who makes it, you saw a lot of good guys come through, like Edmund Shabazian, Kevin Holland, Alex Perez, just that original squad, Dan Ige, right? Where you got to get a finish, right? Chris Curtis at the time got screwed, right? And people were mad about that. But if it happened, if his Contender Series happened now, he probably would have been the first ballot in there, right? So you have to look really, really impressive to make it in there. So back in the day, but recently they've been letting everyone and their mama in. And Tony Gravely, I know he's coming off that loss to Nate Maness, but he was on a 2-fight win streak. The dude has really, really good wrestling, has really, really good pressure, American top team talent. He knows how to win fights. His striking is decent. His chin is a little suspect, so I think that's where Oliveira might be able to attack him. But I think Tony should win this by decision. I think he should just outwork him in every facet of the game, and he has a reach advantage by 3, 69-66. Or you could say 2, 66.9. But still, I think Tony Gravely, and he still has more fights than him, so I think Tony Gravely is the side. I don't know, maybe Nate Maness took his chin. You never know, but I think Tony Gravely should win this fight. Next fight, Matt Frevola versus Genaro Valdéz. Another guy they're giving to him. Another Contender Series dude. Again, right? I mean, a lot of people are down on Frevola here. I'm surprised. Frevola can wrestle. Has some decent wins, man. I think he has a win over Jalen Turner, right? Yeah, beat Jalen Turner, beat Luis Pena, beat really good guys in that lightweight division. His chin is super suspect, but the guy can wrestle his ass off. Genaro Valdéz, he looked good in his fight. He got a finish. But what is he going to do when someone takes him down? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think the wrestling aspect of this matchup will be a big part of this. And, first of all, the loss to, what's his name? Terrence McKinney, in my humble opinion, it just was, Terrence did his thing, don't get it twisted, but, short notice opponent. It's people don't really understand. These short notice fights have to be looked a little more closely, man. I think I'm not saying this guy deserves a pass, but like, man, that's just a hard situation to deal with. You're dealing with a completely different style matchup. The guy has nothing to lose because it's short notice. He loses, he gets an excuse. You're supposed to win, and you're overthinking it sometimes, and he comes with a different style, and he catches you. And I think that's what's happened. I'm not saying Frevola has a great chin. He has a really suspect chin, but the man went tooth and nail with Arman Tsarukyan, man. He lost every single round, don't get it twisted, but this man gave Arman a real run for his money, and I think Frevola gets the decision here, man. I think he's going to use his wrestling. I think he's going to learn from his last fight. I think Billy Q is going to be in his corner telling him, hey, duck your head, move your head, don't get caught, this and that. Go for those takedowns, and I think he gets a decision victory here. I think Frevola just grinds him out. Man went to draw with Lando Venata. Like, come on now. Like, the guy he's a good fighter. He's a good fighter. He messes up sometimes. Next fight, another contender series. Michael Morales versus Trevin Giles, man. Really good fight here. I was really leaning towards Trevin Giles for a long time leading up to this fight. But, I think Trevin Giles can win 3 rounds of 3 straight rounds of this fight. Or, I shouldn't even say 3 straight rounds. 14 minutes of this fight and get caught. I was looking at the Dricus Du Plessis fight, and I was like, he was winning that fight before he got knocked out. Michael Morales is really good wrestling and has really long arms. And that kind of reminds me of Dricus Du Plessis, a guy with really good wrestling and long arms. I don't know if Michael has the KO power of Dricus. Dricus has shown real legit knockout power. I don't know how Trevin Giles is going to really approach this fight. Trevin has always had that kind of, almost like he's always backing up, using his reach, fighting the longer fight, if you get what I'm saying. He doesn't really go forward. Against, what's his name, Bevon Lewis, he was backing up, circling, feinting, doing things like that. Basically fighting as the matador instead of being the bull. In this matchup, I think he's going to have to be the bull. Or, if he gets backed up by Michael Morales with that reach advantage that Michael has over him, it's going to be really hard for him. Michael has shown really, really good wrestling. Trevin Giles has showed throughout his whole entire career, grappling has been an issue for him. I think the lean is Michael Morales here. I am taking Morales by decision here. I don't have a lot of finishes on the prelims. I do have some finishes on the main card, though, so don't worry, y'all. I know I've been saying decision a lot. But I just think, man, Trevin, honestly, he's a really good spot on this card for betting. I really do think he's the guy you can really look at. But I just don't trust his chin at this point, man. To get knocked out like that, bad, man. Dricus Du Plessis knocks people out, though. Michael Morales is young. But, it's just, I see a lot of the similarities to Dricus Du Plessis that I see in Michael Morales in terms of just the body type. And Trevin Giles is just style, man. I don't know how he's going to deal with this kind of body type. And the kid's not bad. He's actually a decent fighter. But this is a jump up in competition for him, in my humble opinion. A big jump up. You don't fight Trevin Giles, man. Trevin Giles beat Roman Dolidze. He beat Bevon. He was on a 3-fight win streak, man. I think he would have got ranked if he would have beat Dricus Du Plessis. Just being honest. I think Dricus got ranked after that win. So, Michael Morales, man, if he's real, he beats Trevin Giles. We'll find. That's what I love about the UFC. They put you in these fucking fucked up situations, but you find out who's who. You really do. Next fight, Cody Stamann versus Said Nurmagomedov. Really, really good fight right here. I think this is going to be awesome grappling frenzy. Both guys are going to go for it. I think Said might take more of the striking approach, but Cody Stamann coming off a 2-fight losing skid. They didn't give him nothing easy, but I like Cody in this fight. I really do, man. The guy can fucking fight. Good wrestler. I think Said Nurmagomedov might have fell in love with his hands a little bit, and I think that's going to bite him in the ass, man. Cody Stamann's good, man. He gave Morabdovich really problems in that fight, man. And I picked Morab, and I was surprised how competitive Cody was going in that fight. And that's kind of the biggest reason why I ended up picking Marlon Moraes over Morab, was because how competitive Cody made it. And Cody was ready to he won a round, in my humble opinion. He took Morab down. Just Morab was able to outwork him in certain areas, and that's something Cody's gonna have to live with. I think Cody has to take that to the bank, and he has to look at this matchup and be like, all right, I need to put in more output and this and that. I think Said Nurmagomedov, one thing he can learn from Cody's fight is the Jimmy Rivera fight. Stuff all the takedowns, use your striking, and just outstrike him. You are the longer guy, and he's going to have to come forward, so it's going to be hard for him to basically, strike with you. He's gonna have to wrestle. I think Cody, no matter what, has to wrestle in this matchup. It's gonna be really hard for him to win a striking match against this guy. I mean, he could have the better hands, don't get it twisted, but the length, always the hardest thing to deal with is dealing with a tall, rangy guy. It don't matter how good of a striker you are. You just gotta, like, the best strikers can figure them out and put like appropriate pressure, but it's just hard. It's hard, in my humble opinion. It's really hard to deal with that kind of striking. And not that striking, it's just that length. But I think Cody should win this. I really do. I think he has the better wrestling. And I felt like Ronnie Barcelos. I know Barcelos is a good fighter, but I felt like Barcelos kind of exposed him a little bit. But yeah, I'm taking Cody Stamann here by decision. Next fight, man, Rodolfo Vieira versus Wellington Turman. Man, man, this is a hard one. This is a hard one, actually. Turman has a lot of fights, man. The Sam Alvey fight was not good for him, man. I thought he lost that fight. The Bruno Silva loss, I mean, that broke my heart, man. I had him against Bruno, and he let me down big time. Andrew Sanchez knocked him out. He beat Marcus Perez, and he has a loss to Carl Roberson. Rodolfo Vieira, I mean, he just beat Dustin Stoltzfus, which I don't know how I look at that win anymore. I don't know. Dustin has lost. I mean, he's lost to two decent middleweights in Gerald and Kyle Dawkins, so I don't know how to look at that. He lost to Anthony Fluffy Hernandez, and he beat Saperbek Safarov. So it's hard to look at this matchup. I think Wellington should fight the striking fight, and Rodolfo Vieira should try to grapple. I think that's what should happen here. I think, I don't know, and maybe Turman has no brain and tries to grapple with Rodolfo, but I learned from my lesson from picking Dustin. I think Rodolfo Vieira has actually improved. I was actually kind of happy for him in his win against Dustin Stoltzfus, and I think he wins this. I think he actually subs Turman, man. I'm kind of done with, I don't know, Turman's 25 years old, though. It's crazy. It's crazy to me how he's degraded like this. But he looked amazing against Bruno Silva before he got KO'd. Like, this was crazy. I mean, he's very young, and I think he can turn it around. But I'm gonna take Rodolfo Vieira here by third round submission. Like, I don't know. It's hard for me, y'all, because I want to fade Rodolfo so bad. I really do, because of that fluffy fight. I can't get that out of my head. But I'm gonna take Rodolfo Vieira here over Turman, man. Turman just let me. I can't take him seriously no more, man. Getting knocked out like that twice, like, it's just hard. It's hard for me to pick him right now, so it is what it is. Next fight, Greg Hardy versus Sergey Spivak, man. I think this is self-explanatory. You got to pick Spivak here. Greg Hardy cannot wrestle. We saw what Marcin Tybura was able to do to him. Tybura was able to finish him, actually, with ground and pound. Actually, you know what? I was going to go with a decision here. I'm going to take Spivak by second round, maybe second round or third. I'm going to say third round. I think Greg Hardy's going to improve on his grappling, so I think he makes it to the third round. But I think Spivak's going to finish him, man. I really do. Hardy let me down big time against Tai Tuivasa, man. I thought he might have been actually the pick of the day, the pick of the card. I thought he was going to surprise it. He did rock him, but he got knocked out, and he let me down that day. But Sergey, I think Sergey is just a better wrestler than him. I know Sergey lost to Tom Aspinall, but Tom Aspinall's a really good fighter, man. And Greg Hardy's a good athlete. I'm not saying Greg Hardy's a bad fighter. If he gets this win, man, that's I think a top 15 heavyweight he beats in Sergey. So, I mean, Greg Hardy could get ranked after this, which would be crazy. But Hardy, I don't know. He's really big. The dude's big. 6'5", 80-inch reach. Dude cuts weight to 264. I think he could be a light heavyweight if he wanted to. But dude is big, though. He's a big dude. And, he's long, he's tall. So he has power, and Sergey is showing somewhat of a kind of suspect chin. But just the disparity in the grappling, I think it goes to Sergey's side. So yeah, I'm taking Spivak here. And next up, Ilia Topuria versus Charles Jourdain. Jourdain, I mean, respect to Jourdain, man. Respect to Jourdain for taking this fight, but he's gonna get whooped on. I've been kind of, I don't know. I've kind of predicted Jourdain's fights pretty good. I predicted his loss. Actually, I got the Andre Ewell fight wrong, but I predicted the Julian Erosa loss pretty well. I know a lot of people weren't on Erosa. I think I was like one of the only dudes that was actually on him. I think, not a lot. I think maybe BK. I'm trying to think of some other people that were on Erosa, but there were some people. I'm not gonna say I was the only one, but y'all know me. I love Juicy J. That's my guy. Ilia Topuria. I was actually going to pick Topuria over Movsar Evloev. I know I said before I was going to pick Movsar, but after watching the tape, I think this kid's really, really good. And I think both him and Movsar are phenomenal. I just want to say that. And I think both guys could end up winning a world championship one day. I just feel like it was weird. Like, I just didn't like how Movsar was acting out of character. Like, I've never seen that guy trash talk before, and I was just shocked. Like, okay, what's wrong with this dude today? And I don't know what Ilia said that made him act out of character. So it showed me a different side of him. And it made me rock with Ilia. And also watching Ilia fight uses the law, uses wrestling. It kind of showed me that, okay, he has a wrestling background that he could use to keep it standing. And I think he might have finished. And, also Movsar got dropped by Hakeem Dawodu in the third round. I thought the timing of the fight, it's all about timing, y'all. And I think Topuria at that time was going to beat him. On a different day, if Movsar doesn't act like a different dude, I think I might go back to rocking with Movsar. I'm 50-50. I'm always switching with these two. But in this fight against Charles Jourdain, I mean, Topuria, I honestly think Topuria should wrestle. I think he should do what he did against Yusuf Zalal and just go out there and grapple. And I think he can get a submission in the second round here. One thing I didn't like about Topuria was his fight with Zalal. He kind of got out. He was getting lit up a little bit in that third round, if you remember. He kind of got a little tired if you go rewatch that fight. But I think if he gets it to the ground, I think he can submit Jourdain. I think he's actually decent on the feet. He's actually somewhat dangerous. And Jourdain's, I mean, the guy's a killer. I give him that. He's a killer. But he's not as good as what people thought he was. After he beat what's the Korean Superboy? People thought he was a man. I was so happy when Philly beat him, and then he lost. But when he beat what's his face? What's that kid's name? Rojo. It was a great fight. Don't get it twisted. It was a phenomenal fight. He's a fun fighter to watch. I always give Jourdain that. He's a fun fighter to watch. People again thought he was the man, and Juicy J sent him to reality. I think Jourdain is kind of like, I love Nico Price, but he's kind of like that gatekeeper to the rankings. I don't think he's ever going to be anything that special. I think he's just going to be known for beating Superboy in Korea. So I think Ilia's going to murder him. Ilia should murder him. I think he should murder him. If he doesn't, man, respect to Jourdain. It's tough. This is short notice, so it's going to be tough for Ilia. Getting them mixed up. But Topuria should kill. Sorry, I'm still recovering from COVID. God damn, I'm dying out here, y'all. I'm dying. And in the co-main event, I do have a breakdown on this. Davison, the God of War, Figueiredo versus Lego Boy Brandon Moreno. I got Figueiredo by second round submission all day, man. Round 2, I think it's insane. The doubt that I've been seeing for Figueiredo. I'm all in on Fight Ready. Brandon Phillip, I'm talking to you, sir. It will be glorious. I know Brandon Phillip has been leading the Moreno fucking little train on Twitter. With all the gifts. Lego Boy is going down. Lego Boy is going down, sir. I think Figueiredo's gonna smoke this dude, man. I don't know. He's looking like a monster, and just hearing the stories about what Henry Cejudo said about this dude being a snake. This dude lived with Cejudo for 2 years, then goes out there behind his back, helps Joseph Benavidez for their fight. play with Legos and being a snake, man, that ain't a good combo, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but where I grew up, you don't do stuff like that. I go more in depth in my breakdown, so go check that out. But I'm taking Davis and Figueiredo, man. It's just crazy to me. It's crazy to me how he's just like, I know the second fight weight cut, but I know the second fight happened. But it's nuts to me, the public opinion of Figueiredo now. Like, how do you go from 2020 fight of the year to some bum off the street? It's wild to me. But it is what it is. In the main event, Francis Ngannou versus Ciryl Gane. Man, this is a phenomenal fight. I do have a breakdown in this. This is going to be great, man. It's going to be dope. But go check out my breakdown. I am picking Francis Ngannou by third round TKO. I think Ciryl Gane and Francis, they're going to take their time. And I think Cyryl's going to take him down in the second round. And I think he's going to survive. But I just think the reach advantage of Ngannou is going to help him a lot. And I think he's just going to touch Ciryl. And I think he's just going to hurt him. Real talk, I just think he's going to hurt him. And then it might be with a jab or 1-2 jab, right? Like he did against Stipe, knock him down. And I think he gets a finish through ground and pound, man. I really do think he gets him out of there. Not as quick as other guys as he's done, but I gotta go with Francis, y'all. But go check out my breakdown for more detail and more in-depth, analysis. And yeah, hope you guys enjoyed your full card predictions. I really wanted to go to this card actually live, but the card just wasn't as good as I thought it was gonna be. There's some cards that I regret to this day for not going to, like UFC. What's this shit? 241. Yeah, 241. Stipe versus DC. Actually, I'm actually happy I didn't go live, because seeing DC lose live probably would have killed my heart. But that card, besides that, and it was a great fight. No matter what you say, that second fight was a great fight. But that whole card was phenomenal. Paulo Costa versus Yoel Romero was phenomenal. Sadiq versus Gabriel Benitez was a great fight. Just a great card in general. But yeah, man, that's it for my full card predictions. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to follow me on my Instagram and my Twitter. All those links will be down below in the description box. If you're new, subscribe. Obviously, go click the notification button. Like, comment, share the video. Love y'all, and goodbye.